get to stay at your home. You know, what Legal Shield's allowed me to do is have the time and financial freedom to spend quality time with family and friends. As a team, we've had over 5,000 unhoused brothers and sisters in 1 year. When my dad had a quadruple bypass, I was able to move in with him for a couple of weeks, and for me that was absolutely priceless. To take my children to Hawaii on their birthdays, to go to Costa Rica for an entire month and surf perfect waves every morning and every night. In fact, Legal Shield allowed me to take 2 years off. I bought a one-way ticket to Europe, another one-way ticket to Latin America. People are like, why did you only buy a one-way ticket? I didn't know when I was coming back. You know, one of the real blessings about this business and industry is I've been working with my parents now for almost 30 years. I actually took them through 5 startup companies. So we got to Legal Shield. They became my sponsors. And within the first 2 years, I was so excited to see them hit a 6-figure income. 2 years later, they had a 6-figure retirement for life. And for the last 18, 19 years, if they wanted to, they could take 2 6-month vacations, and many of those years they did. You know, one thing that they couldn't take away from me, even after not graduating from high school, was a burning desire. And I visualized living in a home like this, and I visualized this lifestyle before it ever came to pass. Oftentimes people say, I'll believe it when I see it. They've got it wrong. You've got to see it and believe it, and then put a game plan and make it happen. In conclusion, I want all of you to know that based on timing right now, each and every one of you can have whatever level of success you want. You can have whatever lifestyle you want. You have the tools and the opportunity to design the life that you deserve. And that's what I wish for you and your families. Spend some time with all of you today. It's really my pleasure to be able to talk about my journey in Legal Shield. You know, unfortunately, I got involved in 5 startup companies. I read years later that 95% failed in the first 3 years, 98% failed in the first 5 years, and 100% of them failed on me in the first year or 2. So I was in a world of hurt by the time I got to Legal Shield. If you can imagine going 6 or 7 years without a car, a driver's license, didn't have a place of my own. I was actually $200,000 in debt. But the one thing they could never take away from me was my burning desire. I had a real desire for success. And it was told to me 30 plus years ago that you'll work hard for money, but you'll do anything for your children and family. And so I was definitely willing to do things for my children, my parents, that I wasn't willing to do for myself. And as a result, I've been able to create a lifestyle that I'm so grateful, so thankful for. I'm so grateful for the success the team has had. You know, we've got 78 rings that have been earned on the team. We just had our 14th millionaire club member on the team. And we feel like we're just getting started. Prior to Legal Shield and part of my journey with my 3 sons, I'd pick them up. And sometimes I'd have to get on a Greyhound bus and go from Las Vegas through Baker, Barstow, to beautiful Victorville. And then I'd have to walk to my sister's house where I'd meet up with my sons. And we'd sleep on the ground or on the sofa. But we made the best of it. I mean, we did a lot of walking. We know what it's like to buy a 12-pack of 50-cent bean and cheese burritos and make them work all day long. But now, to be able to have a home where I can have my son and his beautiful family come for weeks on end, have my brother and sister-in-law travel across the country and hang out for weeks on end, spend a week with my grandchildren, and everyone's got plenty of space, plenty of room, and you know, every weekend my family gets together here at the house, and in just a couple of months, we've already created so many amazing family memories. I can only imagine what the next several years are going to look like. What we wanted to do was create a resort-like living, so you didn't have to go on vacation.
I just want you to look at him right straight in the eye and tell him I'd much rather choke on greatness than to nibble on mediocrity any day.
Miss Hill, so 7:30 on Tuesday, you're good for that?
I'm good, yeah.
Hey, listen, you're good at keeping your appointments because you're a doctor, right?
I can keep my word.
Well, hey, listen, I'd love to see you there. We'll talk shortly after.
Most definitely. Thank you so much.
All right, our time is up, family. I want to give it out to Mr. Jefferson. Let's close out this segment. We want to share real quickly.
Yeah. And so, for the interest of time, family, we were going to also, give you the depiction of our closing three-way phone call, because as you can see, you know, that prospect needed more information, right? So she came out to the briefing, got a chance to see a lot of information, and in the process, you can take them through the 4-part close. And here's where you get to really understand if folks are curious, or if they're serious, or they're just curious, right? And so here's where you ask the question, hey, listen, you know, if this was going to be something you were going to do, you know, what type of income would you need to make in order for it to be worth your while, right? They'll give you a number, 200, 500, 1,000, 2,000, whatever, right? And then from there, you go through that 4-part close, and you allow them to understand that, you know, whether it's how much time they have to work the business, how much time they're giving you to meet the goal, and after that, what else is needed, right? And so once you address those 4-part close, now it puts the associate in a position where they can tell you exactly what you need to know in order to take them to the finish line and getting them started.
Absolutely. So we're done, family. We're moving off here. But I just want you to know that as you go through the process, you're going to experience a lot of failure. And when you experience failure, right, it just lets you know that you're in line for success. But people may stop believing around you. And they may tell you, right, as you continue to run people around the bases, like, you're doing too much. Why do you continue to build this when it's not working out exactly how you want it? I felt that same way, right? And the reason why we're standing here today is because there's privilege in performance. You got to keep moving as you're going through it. And whenever someone, when you go home and start doing this activity, tells you,
How you doing? I'm doing wonderful. Listen, Mr. Washington was telling some awesome things about you. He said you're a sharp person. Is that true?
That's me.
Oh, great. If you said anything else, I would have been worried. But listen, let me just tell you, what did you like best about what he shared with you?
You know, I really like the idea of helping people. And that part about the money, yeah, I like that too.
Oh, great. You know what? I felt the same way. And when I first took a look at this business, what I found is that my first month in this business, I was able to make $500. And then I turned around and was making $1,500 on my best day.
Okay.
And that allowed me to be able to turn around and see how I could believe that one day I would be able to take care of my mom, you know, by working, enjoying life and working with these great entrepreneurs. But let me ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 5, what's your interest level?
I would say about a 4 right now. I need a little more information.
Okay.
But I like what I see so far.
That's wonderful. You sound just like the kind of persons we're looking for. But let me tell you what we could do for you. We're having a live overview where one of our top leaders who's actually coming in, he's helping a lot of people and making a great income.
Okay.
He's going to be tomorrow at an event where you can actually come and get 100% of the facts, and you can also get to experience the culture that creates our success. How does 7 o'clock sound for you?
I can make that happen. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, great. Listen, but let me tell you something about Mr. Washington. He didn't say much about himself, but he's one of our top leaders. He's so
Really?
fantastic, yes. He's going to be one of our dynamic expansion leaders with our national initiatives. You couldn't be working with a better person.
Okay, you didn't tell me that. That's
Oh,
interesting. Okay.
But that's awesome. That's why I decided to tell you why he's not on the phone. But listen, let me see if I can get him back on.
Okay.
Mr. Washington? Oh, you're still there? Okay, great. Mr. Washington?
Sorry, I had to come off mute. Yes, hey, listen. Ring, ring.
Hello, Nabel. How are you?
Hey, Dr. Leandria Hill, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. What you got going on?
Hey, listen, I know we talked the other day, and I sent you that video we're supposed to get. Did you get a chance to look at that video I sent you?
Yes, yes.
Incredible.
Yes.
What did you like most about what you saw?
You know, I really like the idea of helping people. I love that. And, you know, that part about making money, too, that I think I can handle that, too.
Absolutely. You know, that's exactly what I thought about when I took a look at this. And that's the reason why I thought about you, because, you know, you're a doctor, you like helping people, and doctors aren't cheap, right? So listen, that's the reason why I sent that video to you. But listen, the next step, I want to get you in, I want to put you on the line with one of my mentors. This young lady is helping a lot of people. She's also making a lot of money, but she knows 100% of the facts.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, she remind me of her, so I wanted to definitely connect you to. Let me see if I can get a moment of her time to share her story. I think it'd be beneficial. Hold on a second.
Sounds good. Okay.
Hey, Miss Ball, are you there?
Yes, hi, Mr. Washington.
Good, good. Did you, are you still available? I sent you that text message.
Oh, yes, I sure am.
All right, excellent. So listen, I have one of my good friends, Dr. Leandria Hill. She just took a look at the video. She's super excited. She loves to help people. but she's also about making a little bit of money, if that makes sense. So what I'd love to do, if you have a moment, if you could share your story with her real quick and move her along. We have a briefing on Tuesday night. And I'd love to get her out to that briefing Zoom at livingthelegacy23.com Tuesdays at 7:30. Hey, Ms. Hill, are you there?
Yes, Nabel, I'm here.
Hey, Ms. Ball, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Excellent.
Awesome. Well, how are you, Dr. Hill?
I'm doing.
That was great. This is a classic case of when a three-way call goes wrong. Y'all just saw it. Give it up for him again. So, a few things Mr. Washington could have done when he set up that call. He could have actually, when he sent the video, he could have set up a time to talk after the video. So that's really setting up an appointment, right? He needed to set that appointment up. So that's what he should have done at first. And then after that, when he got her on the call, now he wanted to ask her a few things about what she liked about that call, correct? So he could have did that as well. And also, I'll leave you one other thing. If you forget everything, you don't do anything else, your expert walks on water and glows in the dark. So make sure that you edify your expert so that you can get your point across. No, we're going to run through it one more time, but we're going to do it the right way, okay?
Go to Port of Miami. Hey, Dr. Lee, you on there?
Yes.
Hey, look, I got my girl V Ball. We balling. We got to do this. All right, go ahead, tell her about the money.
Hey, Miss Shonda, how are you?
Miss Ball, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Oh, I'm great, but I hear you want to join us, make some money with us, huh?
Come on, what is this all about?
Listen, you got $50? That's all you need, $50. You got one of those cars you can reload?
Tell her about the money, man. You're doing too much.
Just go, listen, we're going to have you blinging, you'll be singing.
All right, TNV family, cut.
Well, this because, in order to do an effective three-way call, you've got to know how not to do an effective three-way call, yes? And so you don't want to do this, okay? Let me just say that. Let's go.
Oh, you can't hear him talk. Say something. Mic check out front on the hand
Test.
mics. Turn it on. Got it?
Can y'all hear me? Ring, ring.
Hello, Nabel?
What up, Doc Lee? How you doing?
I'm good. What's going on?
Hey, man, look, hey, check. Did you watch that video, the 10-minute video I just sent you?
Nabel.
You didn't watch the video? Look.
You just sent it to me. I haven't had a chance to watch it.
It don't even matter. It ain't even that important. Look. We about to be rich. You hear me? Look, Doc, look.
Nabel, that's what you said the last time. What you got going on right
Don't
now?
worry, we ain't talking about the last time, Doc. Look, we about to be rich. Look, I got this little thing I've been getting into. You know what I'm saying? You ain't checked the video out I just sent you? Don't even worry about it. Look. I got my girl. I want you to introduce you to my girl, my partners. Her name is V Ball because she's balling. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna tell you all about this little thing we got going on. Hold on one second.
Nabel, come on.
Hey, Valerie, you there?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on? Hey, listen, I got one. You hear me?
We're gonna make some money.
Hey, look. We call her Doc Lee because she's a street pharmacist, you know what I'm saying? So, look, she knows about making money, you know what I'm saying? So, look, I just wanted to tell her about it. Just tell her about the money, okay?
Getting them started, you can send them the mobile app, the share link to the mobile app, or you can send them to your website via tablet or computer. Always ask them what's best for them, yes? Because we got to meet people where they are. But always know you've got those two options. Once they get enrolled, they're now part of your organization. Understand, our job is just to make sure they get plugged in, right? And let's be honest, TNV, we got to do better with this, right? We've got to do better at getting folks plugged in. There is no way, you heard Mr. Self say yesterday, we have about 1,000 new associates who join this organization every month. But yet, we can't even get 500 on a Sunday night momentum call. Consistently, right? You should be getting calls from new associates, from folks on your team saying, I can't get in. right? The Zoom is telling me that I can't get in. I can't get on the Monday Night Live. You know, Facebook they cancel my account. I can't even, but whatever it is, right? Like I can't even get into the Monday Night Live. But the problem is that folks aren't plugged in. But let me ask you a question, and I'm not going to make any promises. I don't want to put them on the spot. But if I asked Mr. Self, hey, guess what? From now on, is there any way that we could have, say, a ring earner introduce and promote this information for every new associate who joins starting this Monday? Who can get excited about that? Yeah, right? So now it's not even on you. You don't even have to worry about promoting the information. All you have to do is get them in front of one of those ring earners. Do me a favor. If you are a ring earner and you teach fast start training with TNV, please stand real quick. It's already there. We don't have to ask ourselves. He put it in place, right? And so when you utilize the TNV Vision Fast Start training, we as trainers are promoting and explaining this process for you, right? So they get it outside of you trying to say, please get on the Zoom, please join the Monday Night Live training, please get on the TNV Connect Welcome Zoom, right?
Good. So take a screenshot of this as well, because we're going to go ahead and actually move forward with our training, because we only have a few minutes left here and want to make sure that we give you everything that we came to offer right here on today. So listen, these are closing philosophies, and when you're contacting and invited, it's the gateway skill to our industry. We're constantly working on developing our friendship base, right? And we're just looking for understanding. Eric Warwick, in Go Pro says, we're not necessarily just looking to recruit people. We're looking for understanding and for people to be willing to get educated. The more we do that, the more relationships we build. People do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And that's what we're going to develop over time. So master the mundane. The associate that does the most 3 ways, guess what? Gets the most paydays. And whatever you do, just know that that's what you're teaching, good or bad. So if you're not doing 3 ways, if you're not running people around the bases, you're looking for all home runs, guess what your team is going to do? And when a few people on your team strike out because they're following your behavior and your team doesn't stay consistent, it's because they haven't learned that it's a whole lot of little. Right? It ain't everything all at once. It's a whole lot of little. And so you want to be what you want to see, right? And so listen, the challenge is to do at least 3 three-way calls before the end of this weekend is out. Jot that down. We're going to leave you with a challenge. We always want to give you something to feel, something to think about, and there's something to do. So at least 3 three-way calls before you actually leave this weekend. Get with some of these experts in the room, not the ring earners. There's other experts that are managers, senior managers, directors that can do an effective 3-way call that's going to help you to build your business and move people around the bases.
Absolutely, guys. And of course, once you get that new associate signed up, right, we're happy they came home, you scored, right? That's a celebration, right? Yes? We got a new associate. You happy about that? Yes? So you get that new associate. And guess what? Now, our job is just to make sure they get plugged in. Now, I tell you what, Ms. Angel Stevens did an amazing job yesterday.
Let the expert do the talking. That means zip your lip, right? I've had so many people that are new jump in and like, hey, let me just add this in. Like, no. No additives in this recipe, right? And then follow up again using the 3-way call to allow the expert to call.
Yeah, and this is so key, guys, because understand that we said it's a process, yes?
Yeah.
And so at some point, you may get on that 3-way call and, your prospect may say, you know what, I'm excited and this is good, but I'm just not ready yet. And that's okay, right? Because it's a process. So at that point, know that, we may have to plug them into a live presentation. Maybe if you have a in-person presentation happening in your market, you can get them in front of the information, a full presentation. Maybe they've seen all the information, but they need to experience the information, right? Maybe they need to meet some folks in the local area. Maybe you need to get them on a Zoom with your upline. And so you've got lots of different opportunities here where you can do a sit-down presentation. If it's just a membership sale, guys, listen. If you can do an effective presentation, get them on a Zoom, right? If they're not in the local market. If you can set up an appointment, go meet with them. You'll also have an opportunity to do a sit-down presentation. Now, I highly suggest 2-on-1 sit-downs are critical if you're recruiting. Why? Because we show the business model from day one, right? Because at the end of that presentation, the expert is going to say, listen, can you do what your friend just did? They've been sitting here the whole time, right? I've done all the work. All they did was invite you, and the person gets excited about that because they're like, you know what? I can do this from day one, right? We also have a Zoom call. If you're building big, if you've got a lot of momentum, you may have 3, 4, 5, 6 prospects, right? If we're filling our funnel correctly, yes? And so if you want to set up a Zoom, get a few folks on there. Or you may want to just plug them into one of the live opportunity presentations, or perhaps invite them to a local Super Saturday in your area. And these are opportunities where they now can see the full picture and be in a position where they can make an educated and well-informed decision, guys. And so last but not least, we have close and enroll.
The associate, okay? You set it up as an associate, you set it up the right way by making sure that your expert knows that you're working when you're doing your power hour, you're scheduling your business. They know, hey, listen, I'm about to make some calls for the next hour. I've got a group of people that are available to assist you. Field my calls, that's why we're on the baseball diamond, right? So once you set it up with the associate, you're gonna learn to edify your expert, okay? You go ahead and bring that up, right? You're gonna edify your expert. So you are the one that makes this work. You're gonna edify your expert to your prospect. You go ahead and bring that up. And we're gonna move quickly through this information because we do want to show you this in real time as well. Now there's trust between you and your prospect, but the prospect doesn't respect you because they think you're a barber, right? How do you know about legal services? That was my issue when I was in the barbershop. Maybe you don't have that issue, but most of you will. So you have to learn to take it off of you, put the edification on somebody else, let the respect now be earned from the expert or be given to the expert, and now the prospect actually respects the expert. And when the expert speaks to the prospect, they're speaking from a platform of authority. And when they talk highly of you, now they just lifted you up to your prospect. I've gotten off of many phone calls where somebody went from calling me Shim, which is my nickname, right? And they would go to calling me Mr. Kelly because somebody like Mike Humes edified me at the end of the three-way call. So let the expert do the work. You listen and you learn, and you're going to be able to go through the process. All right, so listen, when you're following up, okay, which is the next part, you get a person on a three-way call after they've seen the tool and they've gone through the exposure, they've seen a little bit of information, but they might need a little bit more. So here's what you're going to ask. Take a picture of that. So I'm not going to go through everything, but what did you like best? Not what did you think, right? Because 70% of American stocks are negative. It's not what did you think, it's what did you like best. This is huge. Also, listen, when they give you an answer, you can say, I'm curious on why that is important to you. You mind sharing with me a little bit more about why that's important? Or you can say, look, what would you like to know next? Then you're going to edify the expert, merge.
Okay. But here's what I'll tell you though. If you start doing some effective three-way calls, your business can definitely go on fire, right? If you talk to any of the leaders out there who have had some serious momentum, they'll tell you, all I did is I got out of the way, right? That's all I did. I started putting more people in front of the leadership. I started putting more people in front of third party, and as a result, my business just totally took a blaze, right?
Man, so listen, as we're running the bases, you got to realize that, like Mr. Ron Green said yesterday, right, that you got to take a swing in. Prospecting is all about taking a swing. And understand that when you're taking a swing at it, you risk failure every time you're doing it. And that's okay, right? And when you're thinking about the beauty of life, and how many of you like diamonds? Everybody like diamonds? You know it's the 4 C's, right? It's the carrot, which is the waves, the clarity, right? There's the, of course, the cut. And most people, right, the cut comes from the brilliance. I mean, the brilliance comes from the cut. And in prospecting and getting people to a three-way call, we're afraid to do something that we've never done before because we're so used to putting it on ourselves that we won't trust the weight of the system with someone else, so we're doing it all ourselves, and we're not getting the brilliance of the business. Everybody with me? So basically, write this note down, right, that most of us want to have, right, the beauty of the diamond, right, and we want to have the success of the people up front, so we want the beauty of the diamond, but we're unwilling to get cut like that. Right? So it's imperative. It's imperative that each and every one of us takes this three-way call seriously. So it's like having a gym membership where somebody else does the heavy lifting, right? But you get the beach bottle. Right? So here's how you do the three-way call.
Come on, we don't even have to talk about this, right? I mean, listen, guys, stimulus programs are over, right? But not in PPLSI. So we can continue to create stimulus through your own home-based business. And people need to know that, right? People need to know that, you know, so what do I do now that I don't have extra 600, extra 1,400, whatever the stimulus was, right? Well, guess what, guys? We just show folks how to earn an extra 1,000 in their first 45 days, right? Who started their own home-based business. And so when we do the proper edification, it sets it up to where now people are interested, they're curious, right? They want to hear from your expert. And so as you're rounding that second base, it sets you up for that three-way phone call, right? Now, I'll be honest with you. This three-way phone call is one of the most important aspects of the recruiting process. Would you all agree? Yes. And so when you think about getting a person on the phone and helping taking them along the next step, I mean, this is the area that we really need to focus on. We really there's these 4 areas that we absolutely have to hit in every three-way call, right? We start talking about the facts, right? Because we got folks out there that we consider urchins, right? They just need to know all the information that Mr. Frank Schiff shared yesterday, right? They want to know, so what is the valuation of this company, right? Who's investing, right? What's been the growth over the last 10 years? Guess what? He shared that yesterday. So an urchin needs to know all the facts. Then you've got some folks that they're like, listen, you know, over the last 2 years, I've been absolutely just, oh, y'all like that, man? I put the picture up there because I can't do that, right? So, but my point is that there's folks out here that, you know, they just want to have fun, guys, right? We are the answer for a lot of folks in terms of the solution for what they need in life right now, right? When you think about these 3 areas, I mean, it's absolutely important to set it up because people want to have fun, guys. And do we have fun? Yes. Do we have fun? Yes. I mean, I don't know a place where you can make this type of income and have this much fun at the same time. Like, it doesn't exist, right? And then next we have health, right? Now, this is huge because, you know, society right now is set up where everyone cares, right? Everyone is looking to help out. Everyone wants to see, what can I do, right? I know it's been a challenging, you know, last 2 years. How can I be a blessing to you? People volunteer, people are donating, doing all kinds of things. There are tons of whales out there who are just saying, look, if I just knew, forget about me, if I just knew there was a company where I could position myself to be able to help other people, oh, I'm all in, right?
Following up, we want to make sure that we're using the tools. How many of you are excited about the new prospect PPLS? Right? So they told us a few years ago, Mr. Albert Firmly said, man, it's going to be Christmas every month in Legal Shield. And that's what I feel like. They're giving us something new every time we look up, right? So this new app is going to be specifically designed to help you to make sure you keep your hot list in front of you. Now, how many of you remember paper exposures, right? When you wrote somebody's name down, there was no hot list. Everybody with me? Like when you were going through your exposure, you're going to have to figure out every time you look at somebody's name, like, where do I know them from? But the new app allows us just to be able to press a button and bring all the people who have actually done what we've asked them to do in the interview process to bring those people to the top of the list. And when you're looking to close out the month or reach a certain goal, you can go to your hot list, and that's going to help you, right, to make sure you're running people through the bases that much faster. So you can also set reminders of when and who to follow up with using this amazing app. So check that hot list of recently engaged prospects, and let's keep your business hot.
Absolutely, absolutely. So as we round first base, right, and we're going to that next step, guys, this is an area where, you know, quite honestly, we messed up. Can I just be honest? We messed this up, quite honestly. And if you ever had a three-way call that didn't go so well, it's probably because we didn't do this effectively, right? Edification is a essential part of this process because, you know, you want to set up that experience with your prospect and your expert, and you want to create an environment where now the person who you're putting on the phone with your expert, they can feel like, you know, who is this person? Number one, how do you know them, right? You know, how did you get in a space where now you're introducing me to them? It should create that level of curiosity to the point where not only are they interested in the information, but they're interested in the environment, the associations, right, that you're now a part of. And so,
and this is the exposure system. And remember, system is an acronym for save yourself some time, energy, and money. You can go ahead and start clicking those. Right, so number one, you're going to peak interest, of course, as you're building out. And you're going to spend a lot of time learning how to peak interest. Remember, one of the key skills in building this amazing business is learning how to paint pictures with your words that will compel men and women to take action in their lives. I'm going to say that again, right? You're going to learn how to paint pictures with your words that will compel men and women to take action in their lives. That's how we peak interest, right? In our expression of what it is that we're working on. Immediately follow up to move them to a three-way call, edifying the expert. A lot of people prospect, and if they plant a seed, they don't go back to actually water and cultivate that seed until a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now. That's not going to help you to have a harvest in an immediate fashion, right? So the goal is to expose, but you also want to make sure that you're following up. And of course, follow-up, the fortune is in the follow-up. So let's make sure that we're doing that immediately and consistently. And then we're going to move them to a three-way call after they've seen a little bit of information. The expert is going to move them to the next full exposure by inviting them to learn more, right? And if you're not doing three-way calls right now, we're going to show that today. But every one of us should have the capacity to help somebody else move somebody along the process, right? Every one of us, no matter whether you're brand new or whether you've been around for 20 years. And then an associate gets the prospect on another three-way to actually close their guest once they've seen the full presentation, and then we're going to get them plugged in, get them trained. We're going to rinse that and repeat, okay?
Tools that we can send out. But do you know what the number one underutilized tool is? Anybody know? The number one underutilized tool are the folks sitting in this front row. We're sending out a script. We're giving our new associates a script to use because we want to move with a sense of urgency, yes? And if we know we can get their prospects in front of a leader, a presenter, executive, senior director, ring earner, to do that presentation, effective presentation, the chances are much more likely that we can get that associate a win right away, right? And we should all be excited about that now that we earn advanced commissions on our first sale. Yeah. So think about this, guys, because in the industry, it's defeating when people say, you know what, those things don't work. But we have a chance to show them from day one that they can have that win, right? And it could be one person, it could be their mom, their dad, their sister, their cousin, right? They can get that membership, get that direct deposit, and all of a sudden their belief goes up. When their belief goes up, guess what goes up too? Their activity, right? And so know that this script is absolutely phenomenal because it puts them in a position where they can get in front of a presentation. Now we have resources in Prospect by PPLSI, yes? We have resources in Prospect by PPLSI.